Hi everyone. Robinson Crusoe, a novel which is considered the first novel in English literature. Look at the title, The Life and Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. Now the title itself showing a kind of authenticity, a kind of it's like something like a real person here, the life and adventures. It's showing a kind of suspense, and people are attracted to the story here. This is a story of the English gentleman that represents the England and its role in colonization as the most powerful colonial power. When we come to Robinson Crusoe, there is something about the author of it. We know Daniel Defoe was from the middle class family, and his family was dissenters. Uh, this means that he has got a kind of struggle in the politics of the country. He devoted himself to business, middle class. He's a middle class person talking and addressing middle class readership. And he also took part in a kind of rebellion against James II. This spirit of the rebellious spirit of the author is very much reflected on the rebellious spirit of the fictional character Crusoe himself. When we study 18th century novel, we are also studying what is happening in England at that time. Now, when we talk about that kind of an anxiety, we talk about that kind of rebellious characters. So there is something as if a new era is coming into being, and there is a kind of an anxiety. It's all are shown into that prose fiction. So, according to the life of the author, he started the review, and when he started this kind of periodical magazine, he actually denied the Whig ideas, and his work as a secret agent. It's all were there. He turned his political attitudes into a very beautiful fictional stories. Defoe's structure as a novel, it is a fictional autobiography, but there is realism there because we are talking about 18th century novel that is based on realism. It is a fictional character, but he is actually presenting those English colonizers at the 18th century. So it is fictional autobiography, but it is based on true experiences of lots of people, a series of episodes and adventures, and this showing the attraction for and the widely the welcome and the widely reception of the novel because of that kind of episodic nature. People are very anxious to see what will happen and for the coming episodes. There is also a unifying single hero. We know the whole novel about Robinson Crusoe. Actually, everything else comes like a background. I mean, the family record at the very beginning, friendship with the captain, friendship with the Portuguese captain, they all becoming in the background. Of course, we are talking about the first novel in the world and in English literature, so it's not highly developed, and there is a lack of coherent. There is a kind of the first person narration and showing the author points of view. Definitely, Robinson Crusoe is showing Defoe's kind of religious views and political views. There are two allegories here in this novel. One of them is political, and the other is religious. A Puritan vision of Christianity is here. The structure of the novel is divided into three sections: Crusoe's life and time, and up to his shipwreck, then his 28 years on the desert island, and then how he leaves the island. These are three parts of his life. If we see, I mean, there is a kind of, a tone for all these three parts, that is loneliness and foreignness. We start the novel with the family record, and we know that his father is a foreigner and they settled in Hull. So that sense of foreignness, even the spelling of his name is different. Later on, when he is going to be alone on the island, he will be also, I mean, surrounded by cannibal people. He can't talk to anyone, a kind of isolation, and in a foreign land. Though he presents himself as the king of that island, but actually he was the only citizen of that island. When he leaves the island and come back to England, his family deceased, his friends are no longer there. Also, that kind of sense of foreignness and not belonging, and sometimes, a kind of loneliness that, I mean, he is carrying his own loneliness wherever he goes. Look at the book covers. There must be, see, I mean, he could be anyone, he could be in any costume that he is wearing, but he is a lone character in challenging nature, and there is always the sea. The sea is so important here. The sea is not only, bringing the colonization overseas and what is going to be the life when the British Army is there during the 18th century, but also the sea represents a kind of communication between different peoples. We have the Moors, we have the Portuguese, we have the Spaniards, we have lots of people, and they are all meeting at the sea. So the sea is dividing, the sea is uniting. After all, we are left with the fellow human beings. And I think this is the main message of Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe is alone. He has nothing, no family, no nationality, no middle class, no money, nothing on this desert island. He got only his humanity to preserving humanity, keeping himself. He is the one who is going to build like like on that colony. He's going like to build a country there, a house, furniture, and a fellow citizen to teach, Friday to teach. So I think the sea and the ocean is one of the main pitfalls for the novel. When we talk about the story, he is born in 1638, German father, foreigner, the spelling of his name. Then he travels around the world to make his fortune. He travels around the world because of his inclination, a passion to the sea. And definitely, this is the colonization, so he will make a fortune. His first voyage leads to a second one, and the second one to the third one. The first voyage was just a trial, the second one was a success, and then the third one was very, very misfortunate. At the end, he will be back to England and he will be very rich because of his plantation in Portuguese. And this is a kind of showing how England is becoming very powerful because of the colonization process. And Robinson Crusoe at the story, he is the owner of the plantation in Brazil. He is shipwrecked. He is returning to England. There are so many developments here, but this development is not happening on the geographical aspect. This development is also happening within the psyche of Robinson Crusoe. He's a different person. He was just a boy, reckless, and then now he is mature. And when we come at the end of the novel, he is a very, very mature person who can decide and who can build something, who can lead people. There is a lot of development throughout the novel. It's not only about the geography, but mostly cultural aspects. The origin of the is Alexander Selkirk. He is, this is the origin, the true diary of a true sailor. And but when we talk about reality, I mean, it's different when you put that kind of reality in fiction. Robinson Crusoe is more beloved as a hero, and the story is more credible with all the colors, with all the different places. I mean, there's a kind of emotional depth to Robinson Crusoe, the fictional character, that in the book Alexander Selkirk is lacking. The realistic, I mean, it's a realistic novel, and it is based on the true story, and there are lots of minute details about nature, about the journal that he keeps, and the autobiographical narrative. It all gives the authenticity that this is a true story about a fictional character. And definitely, when we talk about the language, it's very descriptive and simple because it is written by a middle class writer addressed to middle class readership. And thank you for today.